It looks like we are live, so let me go ahead and get set up. Tonight, I'm going to be covering the foundations of goal achievement, and I'm calling this workshop 3 Ways to Get Your Groove Back. I know a lot of us probably have already forgotten about our New Year's resolutions, but I did not forget about them. At the beginning of the year, the first masterclass series that I facilitated was the Law of Attraction and Manifestation Masterclass series. And in that series, I helped you develop your New Year's resolutions as well as a strategic way to go about your entire year so that you end up hitting your goals. And I said that I want you to look back to January when you're in December. Sorry, I need to be going live on Facebook as well. Let me get this going. But give me just a second. We're gonna get it going. Okay, so I'm live down here on Facebook. I know I don't show my Facebook family as much love as I should, so I'm like, let me go live on Facebook as well. So I have YouTube up here and Facebook. So I'll primarily be looking up here, but I will add comments as well in case anyone decides to join from the book. But I said at the beginning of the year, I wanted you to be able to look back to January from December saying, yes, I accomplished my goals. I did what I set out to do. Now that we're a little bit more than halfway through the year, I want to make sure that we're still in alignment. We're still on track with that. So today we're going to be going through the foundations of goal achievement as well as a number of self-exploration exercises to help you evaluate, just to revisit and revise your 2022 goals or your goals for whatever period whenever you find this workshop or this video. It doesn't have to be New Year's resolutions, but to evaluate your goals, how your current progress is with your goals, how you feel about your progress, and how you can shift and maneuver and do things differently moving forward for us who are here live, or if you're watching this video, relatively recent when it's going to come out, then we're going to be really focusing on making the rest of the year the best of our year. So just a moment, let me go ahead. I am logging into this room on my computer as well so I can monitor comments. You all know it takes me a second to get set up. We do have a workbook tonight. So that workbook, I'm going to drop it in the comment section in just a second or the live chat. And I'm also going to include it in the description box. So let me go ahead and drop that for you. I hardly ever use this. I was in someone else's room the other day and they did this. I saw that they pinned this there. I don't know how to pin it. Because I am on the wrong account. Duh. See if this is gonna work. Sorry, y'all. We're gonna get it going. You already know. We're gonna get it going. Okay. Pin message. Boom. Pin message. Let me pull up my workbook and my housekeeping notes. Workbook, housekeeping. If you don't have your workbook, I would highly advise that you have that. It's going to contain our activities, the exercises, the self-exploration prompts, and the coordination activities. So you will want that. All of the exercises that we're going through this evening, as well as additional supplementary information, is going to be in there. It is called the Goal Revision Workbook, and it is $11.11, so it is not expensive at all. It is not going to break the bank. So I have put that in the comment section there. Sorry, y'all. We are going to get it rolling. But while I'm doing this and getting set up, then you all can be grabbing your workbook as well. So, content, okay? Housekeeping item number 1. If you are here live, go ahead and drop see me, okay? Housekeeping item number 1, as always, is going to be interaction. As I'm going through the content and the information this evening, please feel free to interact with on the replay and you're not here live. That's perfectly okay. You can go ahead and still drop your questions or any comments in the comment section, and I will be sure to give you feedback or get back to you or give you resources, help you out however I can, okay? Housekeeping item number 2 is going to be sharing is caring. Just like you're trying to grow, I'm trying to grow here too, okay? I want to do more and more for you all here on Higher Alignment. And the way that I can do that is if you share my videos. If you find that this content and this information really helps you out, if you get something out of it, don't be greedy with the information. Do not be stingy. Do not be a hater. Go ahead and spread the love, spread the information. That's what we're here to do, okay? My third housekeeping item is my text list. And now that I know how to pin this, I can do this. This is what I do on Instagram. You know, I started off on Instagram for about 2 years before I came over here on YouTube. So now we're getting it going. Text higher. So I'm dropping the text list information in the chat as well. So if you do want to join my text list, that way you can get notifications 10 to 15 minutes before I go live. All you have to do is text the word higher, HIYER, to 888-533-6979. Okay, so that is there pinned in the chat for you all if you would like that. The fourth housekeeping item is going to be the workbook. I already talked about that, but really quickly, the workbook is going to contain all of the content and the information that we're going through tonight, including the self-exploration questions, which we're going to go through. But in addition to that, if you already have the workbook, you can go ahead and pull it up. What I want you to do is let's just go ahead and look through it really quickly. So you have the title page, scroll down. So just go ahead and scroll to page 2. It says the foundations of goal achievement. So we're going to begin here when we go through it. So it's going to have the 3 foundations that we're going to review. And then you'll scroll down on page 4. We have the beginning of the self-exploration questions. So there are 6 of them. And you see this is a fillable workbook. So if you do not have a printer, it's perfectly okay. You can type directly in the workbook and you will be good to go. So if you have like a tablet, or maybe if you're just using your laptop, it's perfectly fine. But if you do have the ability to print it out, then you can do that as well. So we're going to go through the 5 self-exploration questions here. And the important thing that you want to remember is to be open, honest, and authentic when you give your answers. And it's not about shame, it's not about blame, it's not about judgment or anything like that. It's simply about identification. There are no right answers, there are no wrong answers, there are no good answers, there are no bad answers. So you're just here to get that clarity, which we're going to be talking about this evening, so that you know how to shift and adjust moving forward, okay? So you want to be open, honest, and authentic when we are going through the self-exploration questions. And then after we finish those, for those of you who have the workbook, go ahead and scroll down to page 7. And let me read you this section really quickly. So you'll see this section of questions is going to ask you to reflect on the answers to the self-exploration questions in order to help you connect the dots, identify patterns, shift, and create new goals. Note that CP3, so that's going to be coordination prompt 3, asks you about the feelings that you identified in SE6. So that's going to be self-exploration question 6. It will make sense when you get there. This is because leaning in the direction of the feeling will change your point of attraction, energy, and mindset towards accomplishing your goals, all on its own due to the law of attraction. So really, I'm just preemptively warning you before you get to that question so that you understand what it means. Because the coordination prompts are going to be activities that you're going to do outside of this workshop once you have finished the self-exploration questions. Hey, Dane, you're right on time. I'm just going through housekeeping, so go ahead and make yourself comfortable. Get settled, get settled. We are just reviewing the workbook, so if you do have your workbook, go ahead and pull that up on your mobile device, tablet, computer. If you don't have your workbook, I did put the link in the chat. It is $11.11 this evening. It's not expensive at all. It's going to contain all of the material that we're going through, the self-exploration questions that we're going to review, and then the coordination prompts, which you will do outside of this workshop. And once again, those are going to ask you to reflect back that you will have already given once we complete them to the 6 self-exploration questions that we're going through this evening. And it's going to basically, once again, help you just connect the dots, clarify, help you really see what's there. And I design my workbooks in this way because typically when I work with clients and you ask someone a question, sometimes they will try to like dodge your question and dodge. Tiffany, thank you so much. I'm glad you got the workbook and glad the download was smooth and easy. Go ahead and pull it up. We're on, I'm just going over what we're going to do this evening in the lay of the land, you know. But yes, so yeah, sorry, I lost my train of thought, but I think I explained it. I think you all get it. Anyway, that must have been the divine telling me to move on. The 5th housekeeping item is going to be the Cave of Wonders guided meditation, okay? The 5th housekeeping item is going to be the new guided meditation that's on my channel. Actually, it shot to video number 1 overnight on my channel. So I completely appreciate that. For those of you who not check that out, it is the new guided meditation or visualization, and it's going to lead you on a journey through progressive muscle relaxation, breath work, and visualization. You're going to go on a journey through a forest into a crystal cave where you will be able to receive an answer. This could be discovering something hidden about yourself, a talent, finding a message that you need. It's a great meditation. Actually, I feel like it is the best one that I've made so far. So it's no surprise to me that it made it to number 1. So go ahead and check it out. Hello, Lucid. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So if you have your workbook, go ahead and pull that up. Go ahead and pull your workbook up and turn to the introduction. No, actually. Yeah, just go ahead and turn to page 1. Turn to the introduction page. If you don't have your workbook, you can check the live chat or the description box, okay? The workbook is a fillable PDF. It contains all of the material that we're going through, the self-exploration exercises, and then the coordination prompts that you will finish up afterwards, okay? If you are new here, go ahead and drop me number 1 in the comment section. If you are not new here, if you're not new to this, you are true to this, and you feel like I have given you some tools, some tips, some technique that has helped you create some positive change in your life, go ahead and drop me an 8 in the comment section. You know, 8 is the number I like to use here. I'm going to give you call to actions throughout the workshop. This is to keep you engaged. This is to keep the air and the energy in here light. A lot of the topics that we can talk about, it can get heavy and dense when we talk about the goals and the things that we want to have happen, but they haven't happened yet, okay? So go ahead and give me a number 1 if you are new here so I can properly greet you in this healing community, and go ahead and give me a number 8 if you are not new to this, you are true to this, okay? If you don't know who I am, perhaps this is your first workshop with me. My name is Aaron. I am a certified life coach, mindfulness and meditation practitioner, and mindset guru. I'm here to give you the tips, tools, and techniques that you can use in order to create a positive shift and transformation in your life. Tonight, we're going to be going over the 3 ways to get your groove back. I'm going to be talking to you about the foundations of goal achievement. We're going to review your goals. It's going to be a workshop. It's going to be great, and you will get what you need from it. Everybody's answers are going to be different. You'll be able to tailor the information to your circumstance and situation, okay? Go ahead and pull up page 1. Let me see. Am I able to build up onto the prompts given? Are they like a blueprint tailored to me specifically? We're going to go through the self-exploration prompts. I'm not exactly sure on what you mean, Dame. If you want to clarify it, just let me know. Are they like a... So all of my self-exploration questions, they're going to be direct questions that I'm going to be asking you, and I'm going to give you probably 3 to 4 minutes between each question to go ahead and write your answer. So we're going to do them in session tonight. Okay, so if you're here, we're going to be doing the work, okay? I don't give any watered down information. We're going to be doing the work. So go ahead and grab your workbook. It's $11.11. If you want to get the most out of this workshop, go ahead and invest in yourself. I try to make sure that my resources are honestly very cheap and affordable. So this is cheaper than lunch. Go ahead and get that workbook, pull it up, and let's get it started. And of course, if anyone has any questions, drop those in the comment section, and I will be sure to address those. I'm like, how do I hide the sidebar? Okay, go ahead and pull book up to page 1, and I'm just going to quickly, I'm going to read through some sections of it. It says, this workbook has been designed to help you get clear on where you are in relation to goals that you have set or will set for yourself. So if you have not set any goals for yourself, that's perfectly okay. You can still go through this material because it will likely inspire you to set the goals, okay? You will engage in self-exploration and journaling to assist you in getting clear. That's supposed to be clear T. It's funny how it's written. It still has the T there. Narrowing your goals and learning from your current experiences so that you may reposition yourself for success. It is important when answering the questions to be open, honest, and authentic. There are no right or wrong answers. There are no good or bad answers. You are here to gain clarity, focus, and inspiration in order to move towards a life full of well-being. Go ahead and go to page 2. So here we're going to begin going over the foundations of goal achievement. So this is what I am calling the 3 ways to get your groove back. You really need these foundations in order to make sure that you can get to the finish line. Many of us have set goals in our life, or we said we wanted to make a change in our life, or some of us know we want to make a change, or we know that something needs to be changed, but we may be even a little bit more distant from it and we don't realize what's going on. We are perhaps, sometimes we even can be in a place of complete denial and blaming it on some external circumstance or situation, blaming what we're going through on someone else instead of taking responsibility and really standing in our power. And so having these 3 foundations are going to set you up for success. They're going to make sure that you don't backtrack. They're going to make sure that you can overcome any obstacles that are going to come up, because the process of self-transformation and personal development is not a smooth, easy road. It's a bumpy road. But I always say, and I got this quote from Tibetan Buddhism, obstacles are the path. So we're going to be talking about that tonight when we talk about clarity. But just know that the things that you encounter on your personal development journey, wherever it is that you're going, are teaching you how to elevate. They are the doors that you're going to walk through. You're learning the process of transformation and transmutation to turn these negative experiences, or turn experiences of stagnation into flow, into openness, into opportunity, okay? So if you are ready for the first way, remember, I love these call to actions because I have to keep you on your toes. You already know, if you've been here before, what I'm going to ask you to do. Go ahead and drop me a number 1 in the comment section and let me know that you are ready for our first way to get your groove back. And we're going to mix it up. I'm going to go through some questions and alternate between questions and information. So that's another reason why I advise that you have the workbook, so that you can, stay on track and not get lost. Let me see those ones. Let me see those ones. Let me see those ones. That's going to let me know that you are ready to roll, that you have your pens, your papers, your notebooks, tablets, recording devices, whatever you need, and you have your workbook pulled up. Thank you, Tiffany. I appreciate it. So the first way, our first foundation is going to be clarity. So if you have your workbook, go ahead and pull up page 3. Clarity refers to having a defined desired outcome that you would like for yourself, as well as understanding where you are in relation to your desired outcome. This is clarity. So I kind of already hinted on this. Many of us, we can be in different phases of, not being clear at all, to just being completely in the dark, to being completely clear, and having a vision of what you want your life to look like, and knowing what you need to do to get there, knowing what type of resources you need, knowing your mind, how you react emotionally when you encounter obstacles and challenges, so you have everything that you need in order to make it to success. So sometimes you may be in the place where you want to change, but you don't know what change will help you. Some of us, so that's going to be on the lower end of that clarity spectrum. Say you're just frustrated about life. I'm trying to think of just the place where you could be in. Say you're just frustrated about life. woe is me, things are not going good, I'm pissed off, and it may be, it's this person's fault, or it's because of this, or it's because of the government, or because of my mom, because of my dad, because of my job. And you're not even looking at what it is that you do want or how you're going to get there. So you often hear me refer to this as contrast. And I often say contrast provides clarity. One of the easiest ways to get clear on your goals and what you want out of life is by looking at contrast and negative experiences. So say you don't have the money that you want right now. You find that you are broke, you have the bills are due, you can't pay your credit card, you don't have the money to do what it is that you want to do and just live how you want to live. So from this experience of contrast, every time you think about money, you put your energy on this topic of money, you just feel negative, you have all of these negative thoughts. If you kind of take a step back for a moment and ask yourself, what is this contrast teaching me? What is it showing me? Then you will be able to move from this stagnant place and this negative place at least a little bit up on the spectrum towards success. And this could be showing you, okay, I really value financial stability and financial abundance, and that is something that I want to cultivate in my life. I want to have the ability to be able to move how I want to move, groove how I want to groove, do what I want to do. And I don't want to have to ask anybody about it. And I don't want to have to, worry about, am I going to be able to do this, that, or the other? So you can think about whatever situation you're in. Perhaps you're experiencing some stagnation, and ask yourself, what is this showing me? Okay. Let me read a little bit more. I think we kind of covered this. Sometimes you may be even more mentally, emotionally distant and not even realize that you're caught in a pattern that is offering you an opportunity for growth and self-transformation. Getting clear is the first step. Perfect. So what I want you to do is quickly go ahead. Let's do some self-exploration prompts. And once again, I'm going to give you let's do 3 minutes just in the name of time. And we'll do 3 minutes between each question. So I think that's enough time for you to answer them. Some of them may not even require 3 minutes. And we'll go that way, okay? So I am going to give you the call to actions. And once again, this is so I can stay on track and make sure that I'm keeping up pace with you and you're keeping up pace with me. So go ahead and drop me a number 1 in the comment section when you are ready for that self-exploration question number 1. And if you have the workbook, we are on page 5. Okay, go ahead and turn to page 5 and drop me a number 1 in the comment section when you are ready for that self-exploration question number 1. Okay. And if you have any questions about any material or anything that we're going through, make sure to just drop it in the comment section, because I'm here to help you out. I want to make sure that you get what you came for this evening. Let me see those ones. Let me see those ones. Let me see those ones. Give me some ones. Are you all ready? Are you asleep? Are you focused? I know you're focused. You said you came here and you were ready to make that shift. Let me see those ones. Okay, thank you. I'm getting some ones in. Thank you. So self-exploration question number 1 is going to be, what are my top 1 to 3 goals that I set for myself this year / period? So once again, you may be watching this. You check the time. Okay, I'm going to give you 2 minutes for this one. I think 2 minutes should be sufficient because you should already have those goals. If you don't have those goals, if you are just randomly watching this video, it called to you and you're going through it, perfect. You're still in the right space, in the right place, okay? Just reflect back on what I was talking about a moment ago and think about clarity. One of the main ways that you can get clarity is by looking at negative experiences or contrasting experiences that you're currently going through. So if you think about are some things that you don't like, then you can easily find some things that you do like, some things that you want to work towards, some things that are inspiring to you. Ask yourself, if you're going through something, if you're in an argument with someone, if you're having trouble in your relationships, maybe your career, and you can ask yourself, okay, what is this showing me? I always advise breaking life down into the 7 different areas. So you hear me talk about this often if you've been here. That's going to be health and fitness, relationships, career, finance, personal development, spirituality, and recreation. So maybe that will make it a little bit easier for you to kind of think about this and break things down and look at, okay, what areas in my life, what of the 7 areas in life seem to resonate with me the most right now? Like, where is my focus? Just checking over here on Facebook as well. Okay, where is my focus? Where is my energy in those 7 areas? Perhaps I set goals for myself in January. Perhaps I set some New Year's resolutions. And if you were a part of that Law of Attraction and Manifestation Masterclass series, I told you all, I said, okay, don't let February roll around and you forget about these New Year's resolutions that we just set in January. And I told you it was going to come back up, and we didn't know when. But you see, it's July and we're here now. So what were some goals that you set for yourself at the beginning of this year, or what was it that you said you wanted to do? Once you have finished that question, go ahead and drop me a number 2 in the comment section. Once you have finished your answer to that question, you have written it inside of your workbook. If you don't have the workbook, if you scroll up to the top of the live chat, or if you look in the description box, you'll find the link for that. It is $11.11 this evening. It is very inexpensive. It is cheaper than lunch. It has all of the material that we're going through this evening, the self-exploration questions that we're going through in the workshop, and then it is going to have the coordination prompts, which are going to ask you to reflect on the answers that you have given in the self-exploration exercises in order to identify patterns, to coordinate, to connect the dots, to shift, to make those changes, and really extract the most out of this information and say, okay, this is what's about to happen, okay? So that is at the top. Are y'all ready for question number 2? I have to remember there is a lag here on YouTube. On Instagram, everything's a lot quicker. Drop me a number 2 when you're ready for prompt number 2. I want to make sure that I've given you enough time, but I do want to keep us on track. So if you have not identified those 1 to 3 goals, go ahead and do that now. Perhaps you are, looking back at the information from the Law of Attraction Manifestation Masterclass series. I did put that in the email, so maybe you brought that up. But go ahead and drop me that number 2 when you are ready for prompt number 2. And let's get this thing rolling. Armand Dotson in the house. Hey, hey, hey. Thank you, Tiffany. Thank you, Armand. Okay, so prompt number 2. How do I feel about my current progress? And here you see the word feel is bolded and italicized. And this is important because this is going to come back up later on. For all of you who are familiar with the Law of Attraction and Manifestation, it's going to be no surprise that we're talking about the feeling. We're going to be inching towards that feeling. So we're going to be using that as our anchor point later on, especially to develop our goals and evaluate our progress. So what you want to do is write about how do you feel about your current progress? Good, bad, once again, be open, honest, and authentic. So I'm going to give you 2 more minutes to go ahead and finish up your answer to that question. And once you have done that, just drop me a number 8 in the comment section. That number of harmony, that number of alignment, that's going to let me know that you are picking up what I'm putting down, you are smelling what I'm stepping in, and you are ready for this train to move forward. So take about 2 minutes to answer question prompt number 2, and then once you are with that, go ahead and drop me that 8. Okay, I'm seeing some 8s coming through. And some 8s. I'm going to give it about 30 more seconds for you all to finish up your last sentences, your last ideas, your last thoughts. I'm going to give you about 30 more seconds and we'll move forward. Okay, so go ahead and scroll back up in the workbook. Go ahead and scroll back up to page 3 where we were reviewing the foundations of goal achievement. So our first one, we have our first foundation of goal achievement. That's the first way to get our groove back. If you set goals for yourself at the beginning of the year, if you didn't set goals, if you were going through something but you didn't really know, you were just, all over the place, a stressed out mess, and now you're like, whew, I'm finally calm enough that I can gather myself and I see that uh, I'm ready to move past all this, okay? So hopefully you got some clarity. And let's go ahead and move on to our second way. Our second way, your second way to get your groove back, you've gotten clarity on what it is that you want, is going to be focus. So focus refers to the creation of narrowly targeted activities that will develop new habits. This means that we don't have so many activities that we make it difficult on ourselves, and we don't have so little or ineffective activities which cause us not to make progress. So you see here, now we're inching into what we really kind of think about of as goal achievement. And I always focus on goal achievement and habit development. We've had other master classes, like the Discipline Masterclass series. If you take a look at that, and the Law of Attraction Masterclass series, the link to any of my courses is always going to be in the description box, so you can just go to my Teachable if any of these sound interesting to you. But we talked about this in more detail over there, but it's important to bring it back, because we want to make sure that the activities and the endeavors that we are engaging in are focused, and we're not just basically doing whatever. Sometimes I find that people say they want a certain thing, but then they're engaging in activities that really just don't make sense. You can tell that they're not focused. They don't have the clarity, and their actions aren't going to lead them in the direction of harmony and alignment and success, okay? So you really want to make sure that you are focused, moving forward, from that step of clarity. You know what it is that you want. You know where it is that you are in relation to what you want, and you want to get focused so we can begin to bridge the gap so you can get from point A to point B. So what I want you to do is go ahead and scroll back down. Go ahead and scroll back down to page 5. Habit development with intention has really made the difference for me. I think it says for me. Let me scroll over. For me. So glad you introduced this skill. Yes, so let's talk about intention. Yes. And so I'm so glad that you brought it up, because it ties directly into this material. And once again, you want to make sure that the activities, the things that you're doing, you want to develop new habits, okay? When we think about what it is to on our personal development journey, what it is to be in this process of self transformation. What does it mean to level up? What does it mean to glow up? This really comes down, our life really boils down to our lifestyle and in the decisions, the things that we do every day. This is what makes up our life, our habits. So when we say we want to change our life, this means really that we want to shift our habits. We want to develop new habits. We want to have a new perspective. We want to think differently. We want to move differently. We want to groove differently. And that is going to shift our energy. That's going to shift our environment. That's going to shift what manifests and appears to us in our life experiences and circumstances, and we change. That's how we change our life. So we have to make sure that when we are engaging in certain activities, or even refraining from certain activities, that we are doing so with our intention in mind, which brings us back to clarity. What is it that I want? A lot of people will say, okay, I want a good relationship. I want a loving relationship. I want a boo. I want a partner. I want someone who's going to be supportive and encouraging. I want this great romantic relationship. But you find that they're they don't like people. They have nasty attitude. Whenever you try to talk to them, they don't want to talk to you. They're very standoffish. They just have these walls built up. So it's like the thoughts and the behaviors and the habits that we see don't exactly align with our intentions, so we're not going to get to what we want. So hopefully that's clear. What I want to do is go back down. Let's go to self-exploration question number 3, okay? So we're continuing on. What has encouraged me to keep going? What positive change is waiting for me on the other end? If any, what negative consequence waits for me if I do not make this change or accomplish this goal? So go ahead and take, let's say you'll probably need 3 minutes. I'm going to give you 3 minutes for this one. And let me just further break this down. There are two ways, two things two motivating factors that we really use to go towards something, and we often refer to this as our why. It's important to understand why we want something, because once again, the journey to success is not going to be smooth. It's going to be filled with obstacles. It's going to be filled with challenges. So when we have a clear why, not only a clear why, but a very strong why, an emotionally charged why, it's going to say, you know what, I really don't care about the obstacles. I don't care what I have to do. I don't care what I have to get through. I'm going to make that money. I don't care how long it takes me to go to school. I don't care how many sleepless nights I have. I'm going to get that degree. I don't care about, if I lose friends. I don't care if this happens. I don't care if that happens, because I'm going to make it to my goal. How do you get to that point? How do you get to having that mindset and that feeling? Is by having the clear why do you want to do this? What has encouraged you to keep going? And we can approach this from two different ends of the spectrum. I call this positive motivation or positive inspiration. And this is going to be like, what am I expecting on the other end? So if I do get my finances together, what does that mean for me? More vacations, more opportunities to rest and relax. Maybe what does that mean? I can take off more. I can spend more time with my family. I'll be able to support myself, have my safety and my security. What is it? I'm going to be able to buy a new home, buy a new car. Like, what is that why? What is it for you? On the positive end of that spectrum, the success that's pulling you. But you can also, sometimes that's not enough. So what comes to mind is when people are experiencing, like, they want to like lose weight or gain weight, or they have some like issues with their health, and they want to make like they want to make changes to their health and their fitness. Sometimes this can be very difficult for people. So sorry, hold on, let me make sure I don't have any comments or questions. Okay, sorry, I thought something popped up. So sometimes this can be difficult. So if the positive motivation is not like strong enough for you, sometimes you may need to go to the negative motivation or the negative inspiration. And this is going to be expressed as, what's the worst thing that could happen if I don't make this change? So if I don't get my health together, what could happen? Okay, if maybe I'm pre-diabetic and I'm like, you know what, I really need to get my health and my fitness together. Otherwise, this could really develop into diabetes. Maybe I already have diabetes. Maybe this could mean that my diabetes is going to get more severe, or, something could be going wrong with my body, organ failure, or just, I'm not going to have the well-being that I want in life. I'm going to have a loss of functionality or vividness to my experience. So sometimes we really have to consider, okay, what's the worst thing that can happen? If I don't get my money together, what's the worst thing that can happen? Okay, well, I'm not going to have enough money to pay my bills. I'm not going to have enough money to pay my rent, and I'm at risk of living on the streets. So sometimes that's more of a motivating factor than what positive thing could happen for you. Okay? So hopefully that is clear. Hopefully that is clear. Go ahead and take another few moments. I'm going to give you about 30 more seconds, and then we're going to move on. I just see two here that it says SE1, SE2, SE3, 4, 5. So there are actually 5 self-exploration questions, not number 6. Not 6. I numbered them, but I will fix that. So go ahead and move on to the next one, SE number 4. It's going to be number 4 in the revised workbook, but in this version, it's SE 5. So if I can narrow my focus of my current goals to make it easier on myself, how would I do this? So think about self exploration prompt number 1. About self exploration prompt number 1. And you have these 1 to 3 goals. Perhaps you had other goals. And maybe just think about, right now we're in the context of we're in July 2022, a little bit more than halfway through the year. Maybe honestly, you're not going to have time to get all 3 done. Maybe you haven't even started working on all 3. Maybe you set your New Year's resolution and you completely forgot about it until this workshop, and then you're like, oh, sugar honey iced tea, uh oops. So maybe you're not going to get to all 3, and maybe if you aim for all 3, remember we're in the area of focus right now. If we aim for the area of all 3, we might not hit any of these, okay? So we may want to narrow things down, or this could even be within that goal. Maybe you already have that goal. Maybe you are making progress. Maybe you have other endeavors that you start saying, I'm going to do this. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to try this. And maybe those things aren't working out. Maybe there's some things that have been too stressful. Maybe some things have been overwhelming. Or maybe some things just haven't been in alignment at all. You should have set a different intention, a different endeavor, set a different activity for yourself. This is when you can go ahead and think about, okay, you can start to think about what are some adjustments that I can make, if I can narrow my focus, what could I really focus on for the next 5 months, for the next 6 months, for the next 4 weeks, and make sure that I'm really hitting that hard and being focused on that and not really spreading myself too thin. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. Once you're finished with that question, go ahead and drop me that number 8. Let me see a number 8. Let me see some 8s. Let me see some 8s. Once you are finished with self-exploration question number 4, that has been mislabeled as self-exploration question number 5, go ahead and drop me that number 8. Radicus Love, hey, hey, hey. That number 8, okay. Perfect. So let's see. Go ahead and scroll back up. Let's go on to the last way that you can get your groove back. So we talked about getting clear, figuring out where it is that you want to be, where it is that you are in relation to where you want to be. That's the first thing, because you're not going to get in your groove if you're not clearly. The second way to get your groove back was to get focused. You don't want to just be doing everything. You don't want to be out here acting willy-nilly. You don't want to be doing stuff that's just not even related to your goal, or stuff that's going to make you backtrack. We don't want to be doing all that. We want to be focused, because when we get to December, or when you get to wherever your next signpost is, you want to turn around and you want to say, damn, I did that. I'm proud of myself. I accomplished that. I demolished it. Okay, so we don't want to be out here doing 100 things, because we may not be able to demolish 100 things, but you may be able to do 10 things. You may be able to do 5 things. You definitely can do one thing. Okay, you can definitely do hit one good one. That's often enough. Our third way to get your groove back is going to be inspiration, okay? Inspiration refers to understanding why we want what we both the good and the bad reasons. This way, when we encounter obstacles, we can have the fuel we need to progress and overcome them. And that's kind of what we hit upon. Well, not kind of, that's what we hit upon with the last self-exploration question that we went through. So we're looking at why it is that what we want from both the positive end of the spectrum and negative end of the spectrum. What's the best thing that can happen for me if this does happen? What's the worst that could happen if it doesn't happen? And then from those, honestly, I would just tell you to pick the strongest one. You may want to write it down. You may want to, make a bookmark, make a background for your phone, write it on your mirror with some lipstick, write it on a post-it note, Put it somewhere where you'll be able to see it and it'll be in your mind, okay? So our third way to get your roof back is going to be to get inspired. Okay, so go ahead and scroll down. Scroll down to page 6 in the workbook. Go ahead and scroll to page 6 in your workbook. And this says self-exploration question number 6. It's really self-exploration question number 5. So don't worry, I'm going to revise that. This question says, how would I feel if my goals were accomplished? And you see that feel is bolded and italicized because we really want to focus on that feeling. We really want to focus on that feeling because this feel often we often respond to our feelings and our emotions. And this is what drives our behavior. For the most part, if we feel frustrated and angry and upset, we are liable to stop doing that or, cause further trouble for ourselves. We are likely to react in a way with thinking without being mindful of those negative emotions. So perhaps that behavior is going to take you not in the direction where you want to go when we need to be going in that direction. So one of the ways that we can really approach goal achievement is through, I love energy work, I love the law of attraction, I love manifestation, and we emphasize the feeling because this is what we can control. This is called the unconditioned. Many times we are conditionally aligned, meaning I'm only going to be in this place of alignment if I see it. I'm only going to be in this place of gratitude and receptivity and openness if I see the $1 million in my bank account. Well, the thing is, that's going to get you into some trouble if you don't have the $1 million in the bank account, because every time you look at your bank account, now you're going to be feeling upset. So we can't control the $1 million right now. We can't just grab it out of, the air and put it in there and then say, oh, now I'm in alignment. Now I have the $1 million. And now my feelings and emotions are in alignment as well. What we can do is say, you know what? I'm going to feel the appreciation and the thanks and the gratitude of having $1 million in my bank account now. That's going to get me responding and reacting and behaving and developing habits that are going to get that $1 million in my bank account. You see how that works? Hopefully you smelling what I'm stepping in. We're not going to worry about things that we can't control. We're going to worry about things that we can control. So how would I feel if my goals were accomplished? This is just putting yourself in that place, in that space of success, of accomplishment, and thinking about it. What would it look like and how would it feel for you? Really focus on the feeling. How would you feel? I would feel safe and secure if I had the money that I needed. I would feel safe and secure if I had that $1 million in my bank account. I would feel loved and appreciated and valued if I were in that romantic relationship and if I had wonderful relationships with my friends and family members and loved ones. How would you feel? Focus on your feeling. How would you feel if your goal were accomplished? If I place myself in the perception that what I want is done and I am in that moment, how do I feel? So once again, the emphasis here is on your emotions. So go ahead and take we'll say another seconds because I've been running my mouth a lot. I'm pretty sure we hit the 2-3 minute mark. Take another 60 seconds. And come back to the workbook. Okay. So those are all of the self-exploration questions that we are going through this evening. Well, those are all that there are. So hopefully these questions and this workshop has helped you get clear on the foundations of goal achievement, has helped you understand where it is that you are in relation to the goals, that you want to accomplish for the year or for this period whenever you're watching it. Hopefully you have been able to see, what things you're doing that are helping you, what things you're doing that are hurting you, and just are able to move forward. Hopefully these things are getting you what you need. Um, if you have the workbook, go ahead and scroll down to page 7. Go ahead and scroll down to page 7, and you see it says coordination prompts. This section of questions is going to ask you to reflect on the answers to the self-exploration questions in order to help you connect the dots, identify patterns, shift, and create new goals. Note that CP3, which is coordination prompt 3, asks you about the feelings that you identified in SE6. So once again, I'm going to revise the workbook so that the numbers aren't off. But it asks you to refer back to the question that we just answered, this last self-exploration question that we did. This is because leaning in the direction of that feeling will change your point of attraction, energy, and mindset towards accomplishing your goal all on its own due to the law of attraction, okay? So you see there are 3 coordination prompts, and the third coordination prompt also has 3 breakdowns. It breaks down into 3 different sections, okay? So go ahead and do those activities for your homework. If you have any questions, you already know you can send me a DM on Instagram. That's the easiest way to get in touch with me. I always pay attention to my DMs, and I will definitely be there to help you with whatever I can. You can also just leave a comment below this YouTube video, So if you're here, you don't even have to go to Instagram. But if you have like a personal something you don't want to write down there, then you can send me a DM. And hopefully it's a question that I'll be able to address. If it is, then I'll address it for you. If not, I'll give you some resources. So I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Thank you all for joining me. If you don't have tonight's workbook, you can tap the link. It's at the top of the live chat. Also, by the time you see this posted, it's going to have the link to the workbook in the description box, so you'll have all of that information. Hey, Choice, I saw you pop in here. Thankful for the replay. The replay is coming to you, Choice, so don't even worry about it, okay? So once again, if you have enjoyed this content and this information this evening, please feel free to share this video with a friend, family member, loved one. Tell a pimp, tell a player, tell a friend, tell a hater, tell somebody in your upline or your downline. Do not be stingy with this information out here in these streets. Don't be a hater, okay? If you have enjoyed this, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and the bell icon so you can get notifications on all future videos. I go live here currently. I'm going live on YouTube, 7 p.m. Eastern on Wednesdays. Otherwise, I have various workshops throughout the week and throughout the month. Self-exploration practices, self-care practices, guided meditations, EFT sessions, all of that. So if those types of things interest you, tap the link in, tap the link in my bio. That's what I say on Instagram. Look in the description box for the Easy Tree. If you click on the Easy Tree, you're always going to have my most recent resources for you. And I always try to at least have 1 to 2 free resources. So if you get either of the free resources that are available, you'll get on my email list. I also drop my text list in the live chat. Text the word HIYER, HIYER, to 888-533-6979, and I send out notifications 10 to 15 minutes before I go live, okay? I think I saw something. Thanks for joining. It really sheds some light on things for me. Journaling always helps in my mindset. Perfect. I am glad. Perfect, Dane. Perfect. So go ahead. If you all need anything, you know where to find me. I'm going to head out of here, and the replay will be up soon. You all have a wonderful rest of